And now.
What's happening, people? Thanks for tuning back into the channel tonight, right here with me, Rust Belt Mechanic, and
Captain Ron.
Captain Ron in here from
What's
the
up,
house.
guys?
What's happening, guys? So tonight, we've got a nice show in store for you. But before we start this show, we would like for you to bow your heads. We have the mechanic's prayer for us to say tonight. If you would, bow your heads with us. Our Father, who art in Detroit, boosted be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in Sema. Give us this day our daily snap-on, and forgive us our bad-mouthing, as we forgive those who borrow tools more than twice. And lead us not into overtime, but deliver us from flat rate. For thine is the epic, the masters, and the classic. Keep our boxes shiny and new forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, brothers!
And just so you guys know, that was completely crafted and made up by Mr. Rust Belt Mechanic.
I don't know what you're talking about. I might have had a couple of extra hours on my hands today. Just for goofing off and around. So hopefully you guys enjoy that kind of stuff. If you don't find that humorous, I'm sorry-ish. Kind of.
Not really.
Not really. But today has been a really good day. We got a lot done. I did the video on the two power probes today. I had ended up purchasing the EECT 900 this week, and that thing has been really awesome. It turned out to be a really good scan tool, or a really good power probe, that is. And then the Snap-on guy also gave me the Power Probe 4 to be able to do some testing in conjunction with it. So it worked out all the way around. Big thank you, shout out to Mr. Dale N, who's usually in here, but he's traveling.
He is in here. No, he's in here.
Oh, there he is.
He just showed up.
Yeah, he is. He's been traveling
across. We got the father and the bishop in the house tonight.
That's right. He's been traveling across the U.S., and he was cool enough to send me the 5-volt reference thing for the Power Probe. Dongle? Accessorizing. It was nice. So that one turned out really well. I want to know how many of you guys have one of the Power Probes or a version of it. I used to have a Power Probe 2 back in the day, and it was something that was really cool, but you know, it was always finicky on me, so I ended up, when it broke the last time, I just ended up not replacing it. I was kind of pissed off about it, but I'm really glad that I went back and got the Snap-on version of it and got that one. So it turned out to be a really cool tool, something that we'll be using definitely on for here moving on.
Zach wants to know if he should get his ass pierced.
You're creepy, dude. You creeped me out, man.
Whatever floats your boat.
Six Fan says you've got to get back on the probes. They've been having so many come out. What's up, Andy? Thanks for tuning in, man.
What up, neighbor?
They've had, quite a few of them. Series 1 through 4 of the Power Probe versions come out, plus the Power Probe hook, and then all the other accessories, the circuit finder, the open circuit finder. Then they had the system draw test that came out for it, and I just thought it was funny that Power Probe made the EECT 900 version of the Power Probe, the multi-probe, for Snap-on, but didn't put it into production for themselves. I guess, I don't know, it's just weird seeing something else on the market that they put out in,
Duplicate?
Yeah, well, it's not exactly a duplicate, but it's more along the lines of in competition with itself.
Right.
I know it's a little bit different, but it's pretty close to what the Power Probe hook is.
It's almost like seeing if the Snap-on brand will make it sell more.
That's true. Father's got his heavenly drink here of margaritas for the Sunday sermon.
I'm just drinking coffee.
Drinking some coffee.
Eric wants to know if we've tested any of the thermal imagers yet.
So, funny you asked that one. We've got a couple of them coming up here. I've actually done some trading of sorts with Mr. JRC to be able to get a couple of them in. So I've got the original thermal imager coming in, and then we might get a hookup for the new and improved thermal imager for Snap-on as well. And then I'm looking at trying to do another one on some borescopes as well. I recently got another company on board with the Rust Belt Mechanic, so they're going to be sending me some.
You know what would be a good comparison? I mean, just to give you like a cheap version.
Brother JRC.
Brother JRC, how you doing tonight? But get when you get your thermal imager from Snap-on, the Snap-on version, get one off of Amazon that hooks to your phone.
All the new Bluetooth versions of them,
or not even that. I mean, even the ones that just snap into the phone port or the 3.5mm port. Just to give a comparison side by side on what it would look like if you bought one off of Amazon, like a cheap one, or if you buy a more expensive one like the one you get from Snap-on.
I think we could do that one. Yeah, that would be a pretty good review. I think that would turn out pretty nice.
Yeah.
I know I've got a borescope one coming up because, like I said, I've got mine. The Snap-on version one would be at my disposal to be able to try that one. And then I've got another company who's sending out their new version of a borescope as well. So we'll have 3 of them in conjunction to be able to test probably in the next week or two.
Remake Garage says, I have a Bluetooth borescope and they work pretty nice. And they cost like $20.
Yeah, some of them they made really darn cheap. I was very surprised at what the technology is coming to these days. It's coming down in price a lot. Yep. So as you guys can see here in the background, we've got the Toolheads crate boxes being put together by the clan. We've got quite a few of them put together. Hopefully the boxes they'll all be put together tonight, and then throughout this week we've got products coming in the door, and we'll be able to be getting those out on time on the 15th. And just letting you guys know, if you haven't signed up for your Toolheads crate yet, you still have 6 days left. And you don't want to miss out on that.
This is your last week to get signed up, guys.
That's right, because if you miss out on being an OG Toolheads, we don't want to hear any whining about it. Father ain't going to pray for you that much. I'm just saying. So make sure you guys get your order.
And there's no atoning for your sins for that one.
That's right.
You're either on board or you get out.
No.
Yeah, no. You just sign up next month.
Sign up for the next month. You won't be one of the OGs, but we'll have it there for you. Awesome. I need mine repaired for the circuit breaker.
Preach it, brother. What's up, Brother Warren?
Yeah, Ryan, I actually had a version 2 that I was saying earlier that I had repaired a couple of times for that same circuit breaker issue. But it was one of those things where getting it fixed just was too often. What's up, old car? What's up, Jason? Nice to see you guys coming on in here. Been wiping, resting my computer. Oh, hard drive crash.
Oh, those are no fun.
Yeah, because I've been missing some videos out there, man. We need to see some more. Get some more people in here doing some more videos.
Depending on who you know, a hard drive failure isn't the end-all, be-all of all your information. Sometimes you can get lucky and still recover some of it. It just all depends on how bad the hard drive failed. So if you're worried about content you have on there, you might look into your local tech shop and see what they would charge to do a possible failed hard drive recovery. Sometimes you get lucky and you can get some of your information back.
Yep.
How many peeps are signed up for Tool Crate? We actually just hit 100 crates today.
Yep. And we've got quite a few more coming in. I actually just got notification that we got a couple more orders in. So we're doing really good in that department. Growing every day. The more people we get in, the better the prices will be, and the better the things will be coming to you guys. So, on the docket for tonight, first on the list, we've got a couple of viewer questions, or not so much questions, but topics that people wanted for me to bring up in this one. The first one being, as in the automotive field, every one of us, at least technician and service advisor, well, across the whole field, pretty much has training to have to deal with. The automotive industry, it is evolving, and if not monthly, but even daily, sometimes it seems.
Yep.
You come into work one day, then all of a sudden, oh wow, I'm not up to date on my training. I'm pretty freaking far behind. They update their training courses, and you have to go and take more, whether it be online or whether it be for the manufacturer in person. Now, the difference is between the training for the dealerships and the independents, generally they have to spend, a lot of personal money out to be able to go and get that training. The dealership, sometimes they've got a lot more backlog, and they're able to get their employees trained easier, most of the time faster as well. But the independent shops have to require on a lot of third-party sources to get their technicians or, the owners and everything trained on the new thing. So in your guys' mind, or your fields, how much training do you think that you go through in a year? And where does that relatively put you into your field? Do you think that you do enough training? Or are you guys seeing that you're doing more and more training?
I'm always training.
He's always training. He's in school right now for the Chrysler CAT program. So it's a non-stop learning experience for you.
I go back in a week.
Thought you went back tomorrow.
No, I go back in a week.
Brandon's back tomorrow.
I know, and that's why I was questioning him too. So,
so we've got.
I'm gonna double check that while I'm thinking about it.
Watch, he's got to be at school tomorrow. He don't even know it. That would be interesting. All right, every day shuffling. That's right. I know it seems like the training facility. Warren says he's got to go to a different island.
Island hopping for freaking. Yeah, see, look, March 11th. B-term starts March 11th.
Gotcha.
I think they had a
week.
Yeah, they had a week or something. Oh yeah, 4th to the 10th is spring break.
Oh, so so it's snowing right now, and this is considered spring break.
It's Ohio, dude. What do you expect?
Ohio spring break, guys. We've got 3 inches of snow on the ground, 18-mile-an-hour winds, and sub-zero temperatures.
Yep.
How about to enjoy that?
It's shorts weather, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we're wearing hoodies and sitting in front of a heater.
Mm-hmm. Legit. I turned the heater on like 45 minutes ago in the garage, and it's just now to the point where we don't see our breath at least here.
No.
So that's been kind of nice. What's your opinions on vocational schools? What teach the trade? So Nick actually did a video on the schools that I went to and he is currently going to. The vocational schools are really great for getting guys started into the course, especially when you're wanting to get started early. The earlier you get started, the earlier you get your training going. The earlier you get your training going, the more certifications you can have earlier on. Certifications are a big thing nowadays, and employers, especially in the automotive industry, for the dealership at least, they are looking for guys who are certified. The more certifications you have, the more kind of work that you generally can do and can get trained for. I know you can't substitute the training for time in the business.
Right.
You found that out. You can be trained to the gills on everything.
You can be book smart, but it's the whole book smart, street smart thing. Classrooms are ideal circumstances where you come into the auto shop and work, and it can be the worst of the worst, especially with the amount of rust we get on stuff.
Yeah, learning the ins and outs of the day-to-day things that are there in the shop, it's a whole lot different than what you get in the atmosphere right there.
Mechanic Chick's here.
Hey, what's up, Mechanic Chick?
And
in here.
An old car guy, if you're still here, I know you're on your way out, but thanks for stopping by, man.
Appreciate it, Jason. Thank you. But anyways, the training that you guys start off with inside of there, it's going to be, something that the earlier you guys get started in your training, the better it is going to be for you, at least starting off in things. You get a foot up on the business, and you're able to get yourself trained and do more things right off the bat. I know in the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s, a lot of the experience-wise technicians, they were the ones who were saying, you can't teach, exactly what we're doing. And at that time, yeah, there was a lot of doing training by listening and experience on, from the guys that you were trying to learn from. But nowadays, there is a lot more book and computer training that you guys have to do. Trying to understand pulse width modulation. You pretty much have to be an electrical technician for even working on and trying to diagnose very many cars at all. You messing up my feng shui here, yo?
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
Oh, I'm worrying.
I'm counting boxes.
Captain Ron, you're messing up the feng shui here.
30, 40, 50.
Now I have the pleasure of putting a rack in 18. Ooh, those racks and they suck to do in those Grand Cherokees. Yep, CAN bus system testing, that always sucks to do. And I actually had a subscriber message me this last week saying, hey, I'd like to see some more of the videos of starting to get into diagnostics of U codes, communication codes between modules. And when you're talking about that, you're talking about termination resistance. Communication between modules is always a zeros and ones thing that nobody really understands, but you're able to pick up on most scopes and being able to tell termination resistances between the modules helps the diagnosis process in that so much. So maybe we'll do a video on that here in the upcoming weeks as well. So that's going to be something cool that we'll probably see also. What are your thoughts on junkyard engines? So normally we don't like to do that very often because usually in our shop we like to have a warranty with a lot of the work that we do. We can't put our warranty onto a lot of those junkyard engines. It's kind of hard to have, you're gonna have 2 years of warranty on our work, but as far as the part, it was a junkyard part, so we can't warranty that one either. So usually it's up to the customer, but generally we don't like doing that thing. Those diagnosis test drive me insane. Yeah, and it sucks a lot, especially when they're wrong. The biggest thing that I've come up for, recently is when we do a lot of the testing here with Chrysler and the U codes and the communication things, is that the engineers don't always think these things through.
Engineers suck.
Yeah, you can't always 100% rely on the testing, even from the manufacturer, because I've probably found 20% of the time that test that you are running is going to have something wrong in it. You've got to have some smarts on you. You got to have a head thinking ahead.
You mean like that one that you found that was wrong?
Oh, I found 2 wrong within the last couple of months. Both of them being on a 5500 Cummins. One ended up being an alternator issue, which ended up leading to an ECM replacement every single time. Which
ended up being
if anybody knows about Cummins and Cummins ECUs, they are not cheap. Even older ones, they're going to end up costing you right around $4,000 just for an ECM.
That's crazy. Jake said he's had a whole CAN bus system shit the bed over a damn backup camera.
Uh-huh. Exactly. You have one module that's on one certain part of the bus. It can bring the entire bus down, and
And it can be something stupid.
It definitely could be. That's where I like the newer CAN bus networks, and I know I'm kind of boring you guys who are mechanics in here, but the CAN bus systems of these days, they made them as more of a tree, if you want to look at it into that perspective, where you can unplug different trunks and different branches of the CAN bus network to try to diagnose different areas. So everything comes into what they call star connectors, and that's where they communicate in between each other. So you're able to unplug all these modules from the star connector to see if the communication comes back. That's one of the biggest, nicest things that I found.
There'll be 7 junkies subscribe to the channel. Thanks for the sub.
Aftermarket scans, we're dealing with it. So, Tim, the aftermarket scan tool stuff, I actually haven't gotten a chance to try that one on anything with the SGWs, I think is what you're talking about, the security gateways. I haven't got a chance to try with that one. They said it's not supposed to be able to do it yet, and even with Snap-on, their software doesn't do through late 2018 yet. They're not even able to get into the security gateway module of these newer ones. Now, how much they're going to have to pay these manufacturers to be able to get access to them, I don't know. We're going to see that one. It's gonna kind of suck to see the aftermarket that. I think it's just going to cause these aftermarket scan tools to go through the roof. You think you guys pay a lot right now for a Snap-on scan tool? You just wait 2 years. Wait in the next 2 years when they have to get updated to these newer vehicles that have Hub. Yep, that have Atlantis Hub, that have security gateway modules.
Funny thing is that with the Atlantis Hub, even in my school, we don't even have any vehicles that have an Atlantis Hub for us to learn on, or test on. We're still running off of the Star Network, so they teach us about the Atlantis bus, but we don't have any way of actually, doing diagnostics or anything like that in the classroom on it because we don't have anything for it. Because Chrysler wouldn't send anything.
Brad, wait, Brad, you weren't subscribed before? Oh, slacking are we now? I see how it is.
And just for a moment, I want to call out JRC and his stupid freaking popcorn machine he got.
Don't say it's stupid, because I would be using it all the time. Just saying.
He said he's going to charge $57.95 a bag for popcorn.
Dude, that Snap-on popcorn. Good day, mate. Thanks for tuning in, Aiden.
Good day, Aiden.
No, it's Aiden.
Aiden?
Aiden.
Aiden Lodo.
Sorry, we're totally probably hacking up everything.
Whatever.
There we go.
We don't care. We just unsubbed and sub just to see what come up. Sure.
Right, Warren. I want the fridge too. I actually went on to eBay, and there was one. I think there's another one right now, but there was one of the Snap-on Epic fridges.
I've seen 3 popcorn makers. 2 on eBay and 1 on Facebook.
They're all over $400 too.
Yep.
They're kind of crazy. Mechanic Chick, what's up? Thanks for tuning in.
With the $5 donation.
$5 donations.
Here in just a second.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. It's going to be right here. Here.
It's way slow now.
Here? Right in this general area? Whatever.
See, there it is. It's premium popcorn.
Butter and salt cost extra.
I see how it is. Extra upcharge for those customers. So
That's how you make your sales.
Have you started it up yet? Have you actually gotten all the stuff burn off and started to make some popcorn with it? Let's see.
What are you talking about, Zach? I don't even know why you're saying that.
So, next thing on the list here that we've got to be able to talk about, since JRC say he wants to win the fridge.
Who wants to bet I win the fridge?
I'm not going to bet against that one. I'm just saying, because...
So he got a Snap-on guy in his back pocket or something?
No, he spent So, we made a trade, and I'm getting sent the thermal imager.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Mr. JRC ordered himself the brand new thermal imager. Everybody knows how much that one costs.
The one I had in my toolbox for a week?
That one you had in your toolbox for a week.
Yeah, that one's...
It was pretty pricey thermal imager. So
that's all the monies.
He spent some good dough on the new thermal imager, so I think you would deserve to at least to get the fridge too. I bid on the one on eBay. So when I bid up through the last 3 hours, I had bid up to $240 on it, which I know that's kind of ridiculous already. But I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going at for this Snap-on fridge. And then in the last 4 minutes of bidding, it went from $240 up to $395.
Kind of ridiculous.
After the shipping and premiums, it was going to be over $475 to get this fridge. That's kind of crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure you could have got it for cheaper off of Snap-on's website.
Yep.
But these people wanted it that bad. Right, Mechanic Chick? I think the popcorn maker would be badass.
I've said that I wanted the popcorn maker just because, you know, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think so, too.
You say it would go to work, but no, it would come here and we'd be making popcorn every night. You know that. It would continuously have popcorn in it.
All the time.
All the time.
Yep. See, I would be hard-pressed to either have it at home or have it at work.
No, it'd be here.
That's true, because if it was at work, we wouldn't get much done. We'd have popcorn
that and it would never
all
get
the
cleaned.
Time.
If it was here, at least it'd get cleaned.
But if you're using it constantly, you got to clean it every time?
Well, yeah.
No. You're just constantly using it.
Whatever.
It would make a good one. So the next question that I want to bring up on topic-wise is, something that I've been talking to Ron about in some of the training that he's been doing. And that is, especially on these newer vehicles, there's so many new service procedures, so many new vehicles coming out that it's hard to keep up on those things. And not just the training for them, but also the service procedures on being able to do them, work on them, understand them, diagnose them. So when you have a newer vehicle, not even if it's not new, it's just new to you. You've never seen this manufacturer before. You've never seen this make of vehicle before. When it comes into your shop, how often do you just, dive in on diagnostics? Or if you know what it needs, say it needs a rack that has blown out for some reason, or a water pump. Say it needs a water pump. How often do you just dive into it? And, bolt's got to come out one way or another. It got put together one way, it's got to come apart,
Are we talking in general, or are we talking about me?
Well, in general, for you guys, no, it's going to you first. It's going to you first.
I'd much rather know where I'm going first before I start taking shit apart.
Yeah.
That's just how I work. I would much rather look through instructions at least and be like, okay, I got to be here, and then I got to be here, and then I can go to the engine or whatever it is, and then say, okay, I can start taking it apart this way. But just for me to get in and start tearing a thing apart, I won't do that.
Yeah, mechanic chick. Both of our wives have the Snap-on hairdryer that looks like the PT850.
Yep.
I love this.
We both won one.
The Snap-on promotional things, I think they're, personal favorite. I think they're neat. They kind of play to their audience, and they do a good job at it. But no, me personally, if something's coming in, and it's just my nature because I've been working flat rate for a lot longer also, that it got put together one way, and I've seen a general assortment of all kinds of vehicles, and they've gone together one way, so it's got to come apart one way or another. Being able to get it apart and understand how it is comes with some experience, but I personally, especially when I'm taking something apart, I'm not going to be looking at the service manual unless I get to a point where I'm like, do I really need to take that out? And then just kind of guess, and if not, I'm going to be trying to get it out anyways.
Gabioso with the $10 donation. Thanks, guys, for making your videos.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I do a good job in trying to keep up on the videos and trying to keep up with what subscribers like to see and what you want to see. That's why I keep my email address up there for you guys, and I'm on Instagram all the time. My email's there. I'm on Facebook too. So if you guys have any questions or want to see certain videos made, I've had a couple of people on here earlier based off of the Power Pro video that I did today. I know a couple of people asked me to possibly look into doing some specific testing in each of the functions of those power probes, which, that would make a really good video too. Yep. I'll add it into my video list and I get enough interest, then yeah, I'll do those videos. And doing the videos for you guys, obviously, you're the ones who watch, you're the ones who make this channel what it is, so I'm going to cater to you to a certain extent. Now, I'm not going to make videos that I don't want to do in the first place. Yeah. I'll tell you that one. I'm not going to change how I'm doing it, but leaning towards some of the things that you guys want to see, I'm definitely going to be able to work with that one.
And I'm doing my best to try to keep up with videos too. I know I had a lapse in a week, but with me working, trying to keep stuff going with tool heads and family life and school coming up, I'm doing my best to keep up with my videos. It's going to be hard once I get back to school to actually be in the shop doing them, but I'm going to do my best to try to get back in the rhythm of things.
Yep. We've been doing a pretty good job, I think, on keeping up with, the relevance of videos. And that's the other thing that I try to keep up on is the relevance of what we do in these videos. I think today, I had done this video on the power probes because the power probes have been something that people not so much have lost interest in, but they've forgotten about being able to use them. And I realized how much of a time saver it was for me a couple of years ago when I was using it, and I hadn't realized how new the technology had come to, especially with that multi-probe from Snap-on. I've been using it over the last week, and I've used it about 3 or 4 times to be able to diagnose certain circuits and coolant pump motors, fans. I've used it 3 times in the last week, so it's made it really nice in that aspect. But just getting that information back out to people like, hey, this stuff is still relevant. It's able to help you guys in your job. Trying to keep up on the relevance of these tools is a hard job in itself. It's not like these manufacturers are coming out with brand new tools every single week.
Yeah.
We might hear about a tool, in the pipelines, and we won't see it for like 6 months.
Right.
How long we've been hearing about a Snap-on 1/2-inch electric impact now?
A while.
A long while. And it's been a long while coming. So, and we still won't see it in the market
so much so
yet.
that we went to another brand to get one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we definitely did. Which somebody asked earlier, Snap-on or Milwaukee for the electrics. I've got both of them, but I'd have to say I pull out the Milwaukee 90% of the time for the work that I do in the shop.
When was the last time you touched your PT850? Exactly.
I used it 2 weeks ago because at the time you were using my Milwaukee 1/2-inch impact.
Yep.
that was when I had to use my PT850 to drag an air hose out to put some tires on, take some wheels off and such.
It was my fault.
Because my electric impact was getting used across the shop. Yep. So that's the last time we used air tools. It's just not that often. It's so much more efficient, so much easier to be able to get these things out, especially with the electric tools that they have today. Yeah,
Power Probe is coming out with a new probe called Maestro.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that they're coming out with a new one. It's supposed to be smaller, from what I've heard. Have a lot of the same capabilities, if not more, but be able to be, the smaller pen style is kind of what I've heard the guesses were, at least.
Eric wants to know, do you guys rock any of the stubby air impacts?
Air ones? No. I've gotten to try out the Matco stubby one, and I know it's not made by them, but I want to say it's like Astor Pneumatic or something like that rebrands it for them. But I've tried it, but I personally do not own any stubby air. Now, stubby electric, yes, I do own Milwaukee ones of those.
Matter of fact, it's the same one that's going to be in the Toolheads crate for
right.
the Golden Wrench winner.
If you guys don't know about that one, one lucky winner is going to be drawn from a list of our subscribers for our Toolheads crate. And normally, I don't know if we're going to be able to tell you guys every single month. I don't know if we want to tell you guys ahead of time what the golden tool is, the golden wrench tool. But this specific month, for the first month, we wanted to tell you guys it is going to be a Milwaukee 3/8 stubby electric impact kit. It's going to come with batteries, going to come with the charger, going to come with the case and the tool. So one lucky subscriber of the Toolheads crate is going to win that one here in just a couple of short weeks.
Yeah. Tyler says, hey man, just want to say I love your channel. I'm 18, still in high school, and just got a dealership job at my local Ford. Any tips?
Make sure you follow a master tech around.
Yep.
I know one of those things where if they decide to send you to school, or if you already planned on going to technical school, great for you on that one. They're going to be able to teach you a lot of good things starting off. Try to get good habits. Try to follow around a technician who has good habits to start off with. If you don't know what those are, watch a couple more videos, on YouTube.
or you can just come over to my channel where, I'm actually doing a series for introduction to automotive for new mechanics, people getting into the dealership or independent shops, stuff like that. So you're welcome to go over and check out my channel, Captain Ron. I've got a few videos up over there. It'll give you some ideas on what you might need if you don't have tools, and what to expect when you get into a dealership aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be my biggest recommendation. Is the school's going to teach you a bunch, but a lot of the initial things that you really need to learn are going to be experience-wise, and getting that experience is going to come from an experienced technician. Make sure you become friends, be nice with the older technicians who've been doing this for 15, 20 years. Now, I can't say that their recommendations and their advice are going to be good forever, because old techs get old. They kind of lose interest,
Stuck in their ways.
They do get stuck in their ways, but they've been doing it for a long time. And if they're still in the business, they're still in it for a reason, and they obviously make enough money to make a living.
Yep.
So, generally they give a good sense to what you're going to be going through in the automotive field.
Eric says, I bring mine popcorn.
That's a good thing. Bring them treatsies.
Yes, bring them treats and stuff that they would like.
Mm-hmm.
And get on their good side.
Yep.
And that way you end up, working next to them, and if you don't have a tool, you can go borrow it.
What's always been my rule for you?
While you're in school, you can use anything out of my toolbox, but after you graduate, if you have to use it twice, you need to buy your own.
That's right.
Which means that I've got a lot of shit to buy.
Or you might just have to, make it work with what you got. I know I had to do that one. There was a lot of tools that Ralph was my mentor at the time. There's a lot of tools that he had that I was like, man, it's such a nice thing seeing you have that one. And I borrowed it from time to time, but, after that second, third time, I either had to make do without, or I had to cough up the dough, get the truck count up a little bit, and buy my own. Kind of sucked, but you got to do what you got to do to get the job done right.
Will said, I start my first dealership job next week. Went in there earlier this week and met the master tech I'll be working under. I have 2 bays next to him, so I'm definitely excited. Dude, that's the way to go. That's exactly my situation with him. when I started, I actually shared 2 bays with him, but I've since moved up to where I've got my own 2 bays, and then I will be, I'm still pretty much right next to him to where if I need something, I can yell down there at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always nice to be able to have somebody, at least just to back, ideas off of if you're not going through school. But at least one of those techs who's, you can just bounce ideas off of. You're like, hey, I know, with the experience that you have, maybe you've seen this issue with these things. It might be a known issue, especially when we're working at the dealership. We work on the same general vehicles day in and day out. It does help to have somebody who's seen those things.
It does help.
It does help, yes. It sure does.
Pretty sure we make that joke every stream.
I can't help it.
It's a good joke.
It is. I wonder what that guy's doing.
Not banking off of royalties.
That's true.
Not to derail the stream too much, but we got some new equipment for our live stream. We got a new camera. We got a new mic. So, just out of curiosity, how does the picture look for you guys? Does it look better? Does the audio sound better? Just give us some feedback on that so we can kind of tweak the stream if need be.
I know I've actually been upgrading some equipment here and there for the stream. I like seeing a lot of streams. He asked about the snap-on ballpoint dress. God, it makes a world of difference. Yes, it has. Better all around. Good. Yeah, we've been trying to upgrade a couple of things in the stream to be able to, just get a little bit better of an experience. I know when I log on to and I look at some of these streams and look at some channels, one of the big things that I first look at is the quality of video, how much time they took, did they actually do some editing? Mm-hmm. I know starting off as earlier channels, you guys aren't going to be doing, live quality, HBO quality stuff for your videos. I get that one, but, at least putting some time into it does come into account, at least when I am looking at videos.
Mechanic Chick asked it, do you have your own bay, or do you move around the shop? For me, I have where my toolbox sits is sitting in front of two bays, which will be mine once I become flat rate. There are times where I have to move around the shop just because of circumstances, whether it be I got to go down the alignment rack, or I've got to go onto the R30 or 30,000 pound rack. There are times where I'm not working in front of my toolbox, but I'd say about 80% of the time, I'm in front of my 2 bays working on vehicles right there at my toolbox.
That's about the general idea of what we do in our shop. The flat rate technicians, they are given their own 2 bays. Those are your 2 bays, no matter what you're doing. Nobody else can use those unless, some extreme circumstance may be happening or something like that. But you get 2 bays of your own. Then we have a community 18,000 pound rack, mm-hmm. which is a 2-post 18,000 pound rack for doing some of the bigger trucks, ProMasters, things like that.
Yep.
Then we have an 18,000 pound 4-post alignment rack with an open front, our Hunter rack that we have. And then we have the big dog. We've got a Champion. I believe that's the brand of that one.
I think so.
And it's a 30,000 pound 4-post rack to lift literally just about anything that has ever come through our door.
I don't think it's failed to lift anything. Mm-mm. The only thing that's failed on it is actually the hydraulic system on it failed once.
We did blow one of the cylinders at one time, but that wasn't because of anything. That was a manufacturer defect. Like 2 weeks after we got the rack, that kind of sucked. But we haven't had anything. We have literally only had to turn one vehicle away. Because it was a couple of weeks ago, and it was like negative 20 degrees out.
Well, we've turned. There's another one I'm thinking of, but
and it was a 5500, but it was a tow rig with a 26-foot bed on the back of it,
mm-hmm.
the long tilt bed, and it physically would not fit into our shop. It would have to hang out the door, and when it was like 3 degrees outside, it needed like 8 recalls done onto it, and we couldn't get that done on that rack.
Remember that lifted truck we had too, the one that they wanted us to pull the engine on, but we physically couldn't get we couldn't get the engine out of it because we didn't have any way of getting it out.
We didn't have a crane to be able to get that motor out. We had a guy with a Dodge come in, and he had that thing lifted legit like 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He had like a 16-inch lift on it, plus body lift. It was kind of outrageously ridiculous.
Freaking huge.
And it
it
had a
sat
blown
outside
motor.
forever.
Yeah, it had a blown motor. It was absolutely ridiculous. So there was no way that we were going to do that. We could get it on a lift, no problem. But getting the thing out of there, we didn't have an engine crane that would lift it high enough to be able to get the damn engine out of it.
Yep.
So that kind of sucked. What's up, Maxwell?
What's up, Max? Let's see. Are you going to do a giveaway for the PP4?
No, because it's not mine. I didn't purchase it. Possibly, I'll be doing another giveaway this next Sunday on a live stream. I'm trying to work up with something. Somebody else might be coming in for a really good giveaway on next week's live stream, but I don't want to say that one right off the bat. Because, my luck, if I go and say what it is, then it won't happen or it won't show up, and everybody will be pissed off at that one. So don't want to say that one quite yet. Yep.
Tyler, there's a link for Toolheads crates if you want to go over and get signed up. $35 a month gets you a crate shipped to your house every month with some awesome stuff in it.
Yep. And let's see. Next on the agenda for the stream, there was one other thing that I really wanted to start to chip away on. I know in a lot of magazine articles and actually getting into the Wall Street Journal, they were actually speaking of the automotive industry in general. So we wanted to bring up the notion of how the industry looks where you're at in the country. I know there's a couple of guys that aren't in the U.S., but they're around the world, and I can't speak for the U.S. in their terms, but what the automotive technician industry looks like in your neck of the woods. Right here in the U.S., they have been putting out a whole bunch of different articles and saying how much our industry has lost technicians and is still losing technicians. Now, we could debate for hours on why those technicians are walking out, and more than likely it's because of pay. It's because of the flat rate system in general. Thanks, Tyler.
No, thanks for that donation, man.
Appreciate it, bud. But it is going on record that a lot of these technicians are leaving. Now, why they're leaving in general, we can debate on that one. But they say over the next 9 years, the automotive industry in the United States will lose 12.5% of the workforce, which is kind of a crazy number.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because of retiring, old ones retiring, or the industry is making a downturn towards the pay is not where it needs to be. It's taking a lot of training, because this is the numbers where they got this one wasn't just dealerships. This was also independent shops across the automotive repair industry as a whole. Mm-hmm. It costs a lot to have the technicians in your shop, not just to be able to pay them, but to be able to have the shop running and to train those technicians as well.
Warren says a lot of their techs are getting hurt.
Now, getting hurt in the way of the dealership's trying to cut back on pay, or just because
physically getting hurt.
Oh, getting hurt.
Buddy pulled his back and has been out for 5 months. That sucks.
Yeah, you got to be careful on this work, especially what you're doing now. With this big heavy line stuff.
Tell him to quit deadlifting transmissions.
Chink said, honestly, new techs don't want to act like you're at work. Now, that I have seen a lot. Especially, you've seen that when you're going to school right now.
Oh,
a lot of the younger guys that you're going to school with, what was their mentality starting out?
So, just to preface it, I am 36, 37. I don't even remember. I don't even remember how old I am. Fuck it, I don't care.
I got to guess on how old I am.
I'm somewhere around that age. I'm sure somebody will come in and yell at me here in a minute and tell me how old I am, which is bad. But anyways, so I am pretty much double the age of pretty much everybody in my class. I'm the quintessential old guy in class. So my very first semester of going to school, I felt like the dad. There were people in there goofing off, playing on their phones, not paying attention, doing whatever they wanted to do. Sometimes the teachers would say stuff, sometimes they wouldn't, just really depending on the class, but I mean, I physically got to a point where I
said, "You're 23. Look at that beard." Sorry, thanks for throwing that one in there. I appreciate
whatever.
it.
I like my beard, but yeah, I mean, I physically had to take 2 guys in my class into the hallway, and I yelled at them because they kept just basically fucking off, and I had it because I'm paying good money to go to school and get my degree and get my training that I need, and they're in there because they just don't care. So the mentality of the younger technicians, and this doesn't go for all of them because there are a few that are in my class. I mean, my class went from 16 people to 5. And it may not even be 5 when I get back. It may be 4. But it's just,
It's sad.
It is sad. I mean, it is. I mean, the fact that they don't want to put the effort in, they don't want to do the work, they don't want to do the homework. They get in the lab and they just goof off, and this is what they're supposed to be going to college for their career, and they just don't care. They'll end up working at Tire Barn or something like that, and they'll think that's okay until it's not.
Yeah, the biggest thing that why I still recommend the automotive industry, and I don't know if that's thanks to the younger generation and being a bunch of dickheads about everything that they're doing,
snowflakes,
but it is actually what is driving this industry to what it's looking at right now. They said in 2017 the median mechanic salary was $56,000. Now, obviously, some of you are seeing that. You might see more, you might see less. It's very widespread depending on where you're at in the country. But that was just a median salary for trained automotive technicians. That was between independent, the guys who work at dealership across the whole thing. So it kind of sucks there, but that was the median salary. But
shortcut mechanics,
because of what is happening right now in our industry, is things are so short-handed that at least we are here, even in the Rust Belt of Ohio, starting to see a little bit of an upturn. You can't get a good trained level 3 technician, at least for Chrysler World, for anywhere less than $26, $27 an hour. You can't get them. It just doesn't exist. Dealerships, they want them, but they can wish all damn day long. They're not going to get them. To have guys who have training, who have certification, who even experience, if you want to try to find a guy who has experience, you're going to be paying $30, $35 an hour, which is kind of crazy here in the Rust Belt of Ohio, because that's not very many, big numbers that you really see. But they say that because of the shortage of technicians, the industry is going to have to start paying them more to at least incentivize some of them to try to get new techs into the field. They say that the medium technician salary by 2021 would be peaking upwards of $65,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's just the average. So having over, like a $10,000 to $11,000 upswing on salary in that amount of time, that's nuts, man.
Yeah. I mean, even Andy says kids today don't want to be laborers. And that's how it is. I mean, across the board, not even, let alone if they're mechanics, but just everybody. I see it all the time. People don't want to put the work in. They expect life to be handed to them on a silver platter. And unfortunately, they're going to get a wake-up call because it's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
If you want it, I mean, I hate to say this, but I had to have the discussion with my youngest daughter today about that. She was going to do Girl Scout cookie sales, and she was like, "I don't want to do it." I was like, "Well, do you want to do the fun stuff that the Girl Scouts do?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, you got to put the work in too. You got to go out and do the cookie sales to earn the money for your fun trips that you guys get to do." I mean, and she kind of understood that a little bit once we got in the car ride over to where she was doing her sales and stuff. So, it kind of sank in, but I mean, even the older generations, the ones that are entering the workforce right now, I've seen it at working in AutoZone. I mean, it's a part-time job for some of them, but they just go there and they don't do anything. I mean, they just stand there and expect everybody else to do the work.
I think the biggest sad part of it is because of that generation that doesn't want to work, they realize how much they are actually bringing the automotive technician industry down.
I think they're bringing down everything.
So because they are, I'm just looking at it in our industry
Right.
sense. So they bring that down. There is a shortage of technicians. When there's a shortage of technicians, there's going to be an upswing in pay because you have to incentivize more people to come into it. So if you're going to pay a technician more to come in, dealerships are just going to eat that cost. I mean, we still are in America, guys.
Right.
You know, we're in the capitalist nation of the world. So they're not going to just eat that cost. They're going to stay somewhat relevant, but that cost is going to get passed on to you, the guys bringing your cars in, the guys who are, wanting to get their stuff fixed. You aren't going to see this nice $75 a flat rate hour anymore. You guys are going to see $100 at independent shops, $110 a flat rate hour, $140 a flat rate hour. Dealerships, I mean, even in the rural areas of Ohio, you're going to be seeing upwards of $140, $145 a flat rate hour within the next couple of years.
410 Autotech says, some dealers do sign-on bonuses to try and lure in good technicians. Highest I've seen was a $10K sign-on bonus somewhere in Texas or Arizona.
Yeah, if you're willing to follow those guys around there. What's up, Junk from work?
What's up, John?
If you guys are willing to follow those jobs are ridiculously seeing what some of these guys will pay, but it's because of what the industry is doing these days. They've got such a shortage, they have to fight and clamor to get those technicians in there, especially in the dealerships. Now, the independent world, it's a little bit different because their competition is other independent shops.
Yeah.
It's a whole different style of industry from it, because the dealerships are for the people generally who can afford more and like to have the newer cars, to have those cars fixed under warranty. You're going to be seeing a different swing in warranties from manufacturers because they physically are going to have to pay the dealerships more money. So right now, the way we see pay scales around here, we see a difference in pay scale from internal work. You see your customer pay work, and you see a different cost for what they charge warranty. A lot of our internal things, it is a pretty cheap rate because obviously you're just paying yourself, and it's kind of hard to judge that one. But your customer pay rate is going to be right around, ours is $99 an hour.
Yep.
And that's in BFE, Ohio. So $99 an hour. So because under warranty time, Chrysler is going to pay you obviously less time as a certified trained technician, but they're also going to pay a little bit less, not a whole lot less, but a little bit less per hour to the dealership. So I think our rate right now for warranty is like right around $89 an hour. So the $89 an hour is what they're paying there. So if we bump our rates up, our dealership isn't going to want to do a whole lot of extra warranty work, and they're going to get a whole hell of a lot of backlash from dealerships because of the amount that we're charging. If they don't want to end up doing it, they throw big old fits about doing warranty work, the manufacturer's going to have to bump up their rates that they pay to the dealerships for that warranty work.
Yeah.
Where's that cost going to get forwarded onto the consumers who buy the cars?
Yep.
Or the warranties are going to go down. We have to offset the cost somehow. So either your car is going to cost more, exponentially more, or your warranty is going to go down. Either way, this thing is just snowballed so much from the guys who don't want to come into work in this industry being so short on technicians, how much it's actually hurting the industry. I think it's kind of nuts.
Yeah. Just to backtrack on some stuff said in the chat. Let's see. Where was I at? Right here. So Tyler says there's one other, or that's one thing. There's another 18-year-old in our shop from another vocational tech school, and he's been at a Ford dealership for 3 months more than me, and the other techs already said I've done more in 3 weeks.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good, man. Good job for you. Always got to do training in the field, or if you get a problem car, you think that you think about what to do outside of work. Audubon says hi. What's up, Audubon? Trying to look.
2 independent shops, 1 Chevy, which costs both Power Sports Shop also. Yeah, they're branching out into Power Sports Shop and trying to get more manufacturers in there. Yeah, it's kind of crazy seeing what these guys are branching into. It's very insane what the industry is going to, all because of a lack of technicians and everything there. Do you keep your tools in your vehicle? The only tools, John, I keep in my vehicle are emergency tools. I've got an emergency jump pack, and you guys can check out my truck toolbox tour. I keep just a general set of wrenches. I don't keep my everyday tools inside of my truck.
Yeah.
I was just trying to show. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, we don't think that. Well, we commend you on doing a good job by all means, but you're going to find in places like that you're going to have those guys that they don't really want to do anything, and you have some that really want to work and actually want to make a name for themselves in their shop. So, kudos to you for that, man.
Junk, what does a starting tech make in your area? Rough idea. So, Junk from Work, you might also scroll on back to a couple of videos that we did on the automotive training school. We went very in depth on that one, but just to give you guys an idea on that, here in the Rust Belt, here in BFE, Ohio, generally oil change lube techs start out at like $12 to $13 an hour. Hourly techs right around there, just for starting out, saying that they don't have any experience. Now, if you get a slightly experienced tech who might be working hourly or just starting into flat rate, you're talking at like 15, 16 bucks an hour, right around there. With another year or so under your belt, you get a little bit of training, you're up to $18, $20 an hour. And then from there on, it's based off of what kind of work you're doing, how indispensable you are to the job that you're working at, and the training that you have on the specialty areas. Obviously, if you're trained in transmissions, diesel, in this area, you're like gold, and they want to pay you gold to be able to keep you around. And Dallas charges a little over $300 for the big truck service. Yep. See, we do also have a different hourly rate for big trucks as well, because we do work on the 45s, 55s, 100s, everything like that. And I think our hourly rate on that one is $120 an hour. It's that way for conversion vans also, but to be able to be trained and have the specialty lifts, equipment, tools for working on those giant things, and the specialized technicians, you got to pay more in those respects. And a lot of those guys who do have the big 45s and 5500s, they don't care. They don't want to ask how much the job is going to cost. The only thing they ever ask is when's it going to be done, because they lose money every minute that truck is off the road. They're losing money. Yep. So they don't care. As fast as you can get it done, that's what they want to pay for. 410
says our highest flat rate tech is at 33 bucks an hour.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, around here, that's about what we see. So we're about 20, 30 minutes north of Dayton, Ohio, and we're in a little bit more of a rural area, so it's a little bit less than that. But in the Dayton area, some of their better techs are making $33, $35 an hour.
Tyler says, I'm about to move back to Ohio. I lived there for 7 years. The pay seemed a lot better, especially for the diesel guys like me.
Yeah, diesel guys around here, especially diesel guys and transmission guys. Those are the ones who are indispensable around here. Electrical, if you're a guru at being able to diagnose electrical stuff, they will also pay good money at that one. 100K here in San Francisco Bay is barely making it. And I totally get that one, man. Dan, see, around here, the cost of living is so much different than the San Francisco Bay here. Yeah. I mean, my house over in San Francisco would be a freaking multi-million-dollar house. But here in the BFE of Ohio, we're talking $150-ish thousand, $175,000 house, for a 4.5, 5-bedroom house. Mm-hmm. That's just the cost of living and what it is and differences there.
Eric says, I suppose your shop isn't union with those rates. No, we are
Nothing's not union around here.
Nope.
Nothing is union. No, here in Ohio, I don't know of a single shop I probably know technicians, from Indiana and all the way over to Columbus, down to Cincinnati, and I don't know of one single shop that is unionized for the technicians.
Autobahn says, BMW and Mercedes get $235 an hour.
Legit, dude. Especially out in California, man. They're going to get whatever they want to charge because that's what they want.
JRC says $150,000 was my down payment at 20%.
Exactly. Legit. Yeah, that's the cost of living between Chicago and BFE, Ohio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked earlier if we get extra money or bonuses after we go over 40 hours.
No, we do not currently. Now, that is another pay system and incentive pay raise system that we've been talking about in our shop. And that's something that we might look into here in the near future, trying to cut down on some of our issues that we've been having on some of the comebacks, trying to incentivize guys on having less comebacks, more hours, is a different pay scale system. Not so much taking pay away or threatening and everything, but the more hours you make at a lower amount of comebacks or zero comebacks is the better pay scale that you'll be at. So we might be looking into that here in the next couple of weeks.
Mechanic Chick says, what school did you or are you going to? We both went to or are going to. It's down in Dayton, Ohio. It's Sinclair Community College. They have their own automotive department, which is just on the other side of the river from the actual campus. They specialize in pretty much all major brands. The Sinclair Community College is actually one of the biggest, highest rated automotive colleges on this side of the country because they do all of the different manufacturers. They've got the Honda PACT program, they've got the Ford program, GM ASEP, the Chrysler CAP program, as well as your general courses as well. They even threw in, I think, a couple of training courses for Toyota. They do have Toyota people there too.
Toyota was there also, which is 5 major different vehicle programs under one roof in Dayton, Ohio.
Yep. And it's not a very, the automotive portion of it is not very big, but how big it is, they pack a lot of information in there. Matter of fact, not only do they do that, but they also have a firefighter EMT section cornered off in one of the parts of the building just strictly for them. So they've got plenty of room there, and it's a really good college. I mean, I'm almost done with it, and I've enjoyed every minute I've been there.
It is. It's a really good thing to get into, and that's one of the things where I definitely recommend it to guys coming in. That's what I did. Why I made that big rant video a couple of weeks ago is because a lot of the older guys in the technician industry right now are beating down on the younger guys, saying, it's not something that's worth getting into. But if you really look into it and you really want to do the training and actually get the certification and work your ass off at doing it, this industry is on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
Really can't get much worse. It's going to be on the up and up. They're going to have to start paying technicians more, going to a different pay system, and the cost of their hourly rates are going to go up, which means technicians' pay are going to be able to go up as well. It's something that I will definitely recommend too.
Tyler said, my tech school is free for kids in high school, and then anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000 for adults.
Yeah, if you look back at our video on the tech school, it's a little bit different if you're in state, out of state, in county, out of county. But general cost when you're in state, it was between $12,000 and $18,000, I think, for that one of the ones that we went to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't really want to go for a 2-hour roll on this one, so that was about all of the different things that I had to talk about tonight. I really kind of appreciate you guys stopping in here. It's really cool seeing the tool community coming forward, and it's been something awesome. This week's been really good. Make sure, again, to get your order in for Toolheads Crate. If it's something that you were looking into and just like, I don't know, make sure you guys get your orders in for that one. You've got 6 days remaining to be able to be on the order list for the first crate. And, not to mention, the Golden Wrench Award. You guys want to be able to win that Golden Wrench. You want to see that thing right there. You want to see
this in your box.
That's going to win you the Milwaukee Stubby Impact Electric tool set. One lucky subscriber from the Toolheads Crate will be winning that one as well.
Shout out time?
Shout out time. Well,
speaking of shout outs, first off, thanks to Junk for Work for not only shouting me out, but also for shouting out Rust Belt Mechanic in his shout out Saturday video. We really appreciate that. Guys, go over and check out his channel.
Yep, definitely. I'm going to shout out Mechanic Chick. It's cool. She really wasn't a YouTuber or anything, but she came over from the IG, the big old Instagram, coming over to see us over in the YouTube side of things.
Yep.
Seeing how us mechanics doing these things on here. She should get her own YouTube channel.
She should.
See, not everybody can handle Fords. But I'd pay to see somebody work on Fords.
Yeah,
especially if I own one.
She says she needs to win that golden wrench.
Yeah, you do. Everybody needs to win that golden wrench. That's for real tool, man, and I definitely recommend that one. It's gonna be cool.
Yep.
Anything else, Captain Ron?
No. Just make sure you guys stay tuned. Stay tuned to both our channels. We got videos coming up this week. I don't know. Do you have anything planned for this week yet?
Gonna have my normal Wednesday evening is gonna be my Nifty Tools of the Week, where I will be doing a review on 3 to 4 different tools of what I've been using and what has helped me to work better, save me time throughout the week. And I will do a shout out to a channel who is up and coming as well. I've got a really good one in line for that one as well.
As for me, I'm gonna try to get a video out. If I can, possibly early in the week. I might do a live stream on Thursday night, because I'm going to go get another Ninja Turtle done. So I might just stream that on YouTube and have you guys check that out if you guys want to. So make sure you guys go over and check out my channel. It's Captain Ron. Like I said, I've got some videos coming up with that. Like I said, in 2 weeks, when I go back to school, I'm going to start working on a video of Sinclair's campus. So if you guys are curious about what college life looks like or what the automotive department looks like, I'm going to have a video of that coming up as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
So how we also started off our channel tonight, we had the Mechanic's Prayer. And I know there's not a whole lot of people that were in here. Right. In the beginning. So do we need to run it again?
I think we need to close with the Mechanic's Prayer again.
So Father Rustbelt, we have a new Mechanic's Prayer for you guys. Make sure you get this one down. You want to write this down because it is something that you're going to want to remember. Everybody in the audience, please bow your heads with me tonight. Our Father, who art in Detroit, boasted be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in Sema. Give us this day our daily snap-on, and forgive us our bad-mouthing, as we forgive those who borrow tools more than twice. Lead us not into overtime, but deliver us from flat rate. For thine is the epic, the masters, and the classic series. Keep our boxes shiny and new. Forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, guys.
And no, Mechanic Chick, your box is not cooler than mine.
Thank you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate everybody. As always, you guys stay awesome.
And we'll see you next time. Later.